Alright, Tabata, I just gotta know the thought process. What is this, bro? No, like seriously, what is this? Like, you made anti-magic and thought it was a good idea. Like, I know what you did to try and quote unquote balance it, but then you made Devil Union, and Devil Union just snaps anti-magic even more. But on the simple fundamental property that it gets to cancel out pretty much everything by just existing, I think that's a little bit too much. I think it's a little bit too much. Like, here's the thing, right? Like, you can put in like hard counters to your power system. In fact, I recommend you put in a few hard counters to your power system. You never want your power system to be like the only thing in your verse that's ever at all relevant, because then it sort of makes anyone who doesn't have access to that power system way weaker and way inferior, and thus like never a threat. Like, you can never introduce a villain that isn't connected to your power system, because, you know, it would make sense for them not to be connected to it because it's too powerful. But there's building like a hard counter or even a soft counter into your magic system or your power system. And then there's anti-magic, and anti-magic just says no to the power system. Like, there's no hard, there's no soft, there's just absolute, like, pure counter. Like, what the heck was this? Mainly because the thing with anti-magic is, as long as Asta can keep up with you and you're a magic user, you just gotta hold that, bro. Like, what else are you supposed to do? You can't fight it, because the moment he touches you with that blade, the swing of his sword, bada bing bada boom, your magic is done. He can also just heal people. If they're afflicted by magic, a little boop with the sword, and their magic is perfectly fine. They are perfectly fine because he negated the magic. I seem legit. Like, anti-magic alone as a concept is very cool in and of itself. Like, if you were to tell me, hey, there's a magic that negates all other magics, that's cool. But the thing about that is, like, it makes you wonder, like, to all Asta needs to be is fast. Like, you gotta realize that all he needs to be is speedy. And, well, technically no, because there are ways to outdo anti-magic. Like, if you can make your attack bigger than the sword, or maybe like catch Asta lacking, or like counters to it, like, you have to be able to swing your blade in time to hit it. But I feel like that counter just isn't enough, because Asta is one of the most physically gifted characters in the series, and thus he's one of the fastest characters in the series, and thus pretty much no one can outpace him when he's all out full series. So you need to get some different level beings. Like, on the average level, if Asta pulls up on you, you sort of just lose, because you lose access to like the only power system in the verse. Like, we got to realize this. Magic is like the bare minimum, bare root everything in the verse. Sure, you have like typical hand fighting styles, like hand-to-hand martial arts, stuff like that. But in terms of just like power systems, this isn't anything like, I don't know, maybe like One Piece, where there's hockey and then there's devil fruits. There's no like different counters. You either have magic or you don't have magic. And when you don't have magic, you're basically irrelevant. But if you have magic, you get negged by anti-magic. Like, it's free real estate, because Asta just runs through the entire verse on pure hacks alone. And the thing is, his hacks is that there is no hacks. His power is that there is no power. And the thing is, like, Tabata was already going dumb with it when he first introduced it, but then he allowed Asta to manipulate it throughout his own body so he could fly on his sword. What? He can have ranged attacks with it? What? He can cover himself in it? What? Like, legitimately, Tabata, I'm just confused, bro.